Hey guys, it's Nichole Eaton with the Rock Your Soul book and podcast. I'm so excited to help you master your mind, shift your perspective, and take your life to the next level. Are you ready? The following are chapters from my book, Rock Your Soul, The Down-to-Earth Guide to Mastering Your Mind, now available on Amazon and at NicholeEaton.com. Chapter 7, Focus. Remember when we talked about checking your bank account and calendar? Where is the majority of your energy going? Being focused is vital to making progress and improving our lives. If we lack mindfulness in our focus, we risk wasting a ton of time on an idea or problem that may never positively add to our overall experience. Our caveman relatives were all like, I hope there's enough food to feed my family. I hope a mammoth doesn't come in and spear grandma. And here we are over here like, oh man, I hope Becky isn't wearing the same outfit as me. You know, Becky with the good hair. Why is her hair so much better anyway? It's like she has more money, so she can afford a better stylist. I wish I had more money. Never have money to do anything. Our focus can create an emotional downward spiral staircase real fast. Whatever we're focusing our thoughts on, more similar thoughts and feelings join. Have you ever had a bad breakup? The type where you mope around the house wearing their hoodie without a shower for a couple days. It's okay. You don't have to admit it. We've all been there. You might have been so focused on rereading their texts in an attempt to understand what happened that you declined an invite to a fun event. Showers and eating anything other than stale pizza went out the window while you were busy wondering why you weren't worth keeping. The entire situation, which is really only a fraction of your life, might have consumed days, weeks, or possibly years of your mental focus, inducing sadness or anger. Moving out of these emotions might have felt impossible. The truth is, we always have access to a new feeling or state of being. For example, let's say you're moping around and your ex calls and suddenly wants to meet up. Instead of feeling depressed, you likely be filled with a burst of energy that's hopeful, pushing you to shower or clean your apartment. We can shift in a matter of seconds. Shifting our focus only takes 1 second's notice to take our thoughts from fearful and sad to empowered or excited, which means you have access to better feelings at all times. You just have to hone in on them by shifting your focus. You can even access better states or emotions just by recalling a time you felt happy or excited or proud. Our brain has no idea what's made up and what's real. Not to say that you aren't allowed to have negative emotions or grief. You are. A normal part of life is dealing with or healing from tough experiences. We just don't want to live there. Shitty feelings are not meant to be a vacation home on the Cape. Be mindful of the amount of time you spend in a negative emotion. Redirecting your focus to an area of your life that makes you feel good or that you have control over will move you towards joy. Creating awareness of where your focus is helps you decide if what pulled your focus off path is worth your time. We focus a lot of time on our insecurities in areas of our life that suck. Since when do I have fine lines? Oh my God, my lips are even wrinkled. I have old people lips. We focus a lot of time on worries that in the long term don't matter. Redirecting your focus is as easy as consciously choosing where to focus your thoughts. You can also use the power of questions. Your brain is forced to answer the questions you ask it. Instead of asking yourself why you weren't worth keeping, ask yourself what you really want out of a relationship. What do you want your standards to be? Instead of asking why you didn't get picked for that job or school, ask what you learned or how you can improve your resume or interview skills moving forward. Refocusing can take you from self-loathing to action. What are you missing while focusing on how the government's ruining our nation? Are you sacrificing your joy by pouring your energy into desperate, low-feeling thoughts or situations that you have no control over? Now, this doesn't mean you should simply avoid the deeper, darker subjects. You should make a proactive decision to not stay in the dark. If you can't find a way to be active about a worrisome situation, move along. Or give yourself 15 minutes only to think about it per day. Worry time is a cognitive psychology tool that recommends you to redirect a concern or a worry as it arises to a designated time, like 5 p.m. As the thought arises, you should say to yourself, nope, I can only think about this at 5 p.m. Only at your designated worry time can you be anxious about this particular concern. For a whole 15 minutes, you must sit there and utilize the time solely to fret. Once your 15 minutes is up, you should find a calming or distracting activity and redirect your energy elsewhere until the next designated worry time. This practice trains your brain to refocus and gain relief from intruding thoughts. When you focus your energy and mind on building something great or even feeling great, we create more situations that feel good. It's like rolling a snowball down a hill. You build glorious momentum. When you focus your energy on things that aren't working, you create more situations, feelings, and thoughts that feel bad. Choose wisely. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Chapter 8, Limits. I was born with a plethora of health concerns. My weak, tiny infant body was hospitalized shortly after I arrived. Luckily, many of the health issues subsided over the years, but complications remained, including severe asthma and chronic lung infections. Health issues meant a lifetime of the word no. No, you can't play outside. It's too cold. Your lungs can't handle the upstate New York weather. You're going to need to sit out in gym today. The wheezing's getting worse. Don't even consider joining a sports team. Your lungs can't commit. My parents took the doctor's anti-activity advice very seriously. Let's just say my doctors advised against anything appearing fun. My lungs improved gradually as I grew older, giving me permission to expand my preset limits barely. I joined a softball team. I wasn't very good. However, when I approached my 20s, my lungs began boxing lessons, taking me down with a right hook. Battling chronic bronchitis soon consumed my life. Now, if you've never had bronchitis, it sucks. Imagine trying to breathe with pillows over your face. Everything, including laughing, makes you cough. You definitely don't want to laugh. Once you start coughing, good luck stopping. The coughing is exhausting and keeps you up all night. Not only do you feel like crap, but combined with the sleep deprivation, you look like crap. At one point, I developed a new bout of bronchitis almost immediately after getting over the last stint. I was just a hacking, phlegm-producing machine. Super sexy. Meanwhile, all of my 20-something friends were using their fancy lungs to do cool activities like run marathons. I'd envy stories of training in groups, crossing the finish lines, medals, post-race brew, followed by a carb-filled meal. I was 50 shades of green, jealous as hell. I wanted to run. I wanted to do anything, but I couldn't because of my lungs. My doctors would surely advise against it. For as many problems as I was born with, I also came equipped with a curiosity that just won't quit. On one of the days when my lungs were feeling okay, I had this urge. What if I just lightly jogged a quarter mile? I laced up my sneakers and stepped outside. I did a slow jog, breaking that quarter of a mile, and I'd love to say it was easy, but if I'm being honest, the racing heart and burning in my lungs had me convinced I may die. Yet a weird glow of pride loomed over me the rest of the day. The next day, the pride fogged my memory enough for me to try my jog once again, even slower. I followed this slow pattern for weeks. Over the course of 2 weeks, I experienced 0 lung infections. I discovered that running challenges strengthened my lungs. Fast forward 5 years later, I run between 2 to 5 miles every morning. I've entered numerous 5Ks, 8Ks, and 10Ks. I've pushed myself through an 11-mile mud run obstacle course, but most importantly, I haven't had any major infections in my lungs since. People are going to set up limits for you. Experts, family, intelligent individuals who love you. Only you can decide what your limits are. If you don't like your restrictions, push on them. Even just a little. Maybe surpassing your limits really just starts as a what-if game. What if just this once I insert limitation push here? Nudging your limits could begin by taking it slow and building upon your small successes. Most importantly, decide the created limit does not have to be your truth. Consider that what's on the other side of our limit is worth trying for. Few limits are real and physical. Most limits are just thoughts, meaning we can change them. Some limits will feel impossible, but remember, there are anomalies every single day that defy preset limitations. If you don't believe me, look at the fact we have electricity and humankind has landed on the moon. Imagine the first time someone pointed up to the moon and shouted, someone should stand on that moon. People probably thought that idea and person was crazy. Yet, because of the insanity, the moon has been stood on. There are currently people walking around who were told they'd never walk again. Hearing when they were told they would never hear. Impossible happenings occur daily. Not everyone is going to agree with your ideas and thoughts or support you. The world will give you a chance to quit and go back to safety every single day. You have to be the one to believe fiercely in your own possibility. You must boldly surpass your own limitations. The alternative is living a life of safety and playing by the rules, settling for less. Great structures, discoveries, and inventions wouldn't exist if limits were not eliminated. Don't let your life be any different. Decide for yourself. Push your own barriers and see exactly what you're capable of. Be willing to go at it alone. Trust yourself and your intuition when it comes to making your dream life happen. Your soul knows what you're capable of. Decide which boundaries you're ready to surpass. Thank you so much for listening to the Rock Your Soul book and podcast. Make sure to catch future chapters in the upcoming weeks. Take a moment to book a one-on-one personalized soul therapy session with me or catch a live event by visiting www.nicholeeaton.com or follow me on Instagram at nicholeeaton.xo. Thank you.